In this video, I'm going to explain the differences between a white and silver beauty dish to help you determine which version of this fantastic modifier is best for you. I'm Lindsay Adler, and I'm a portrait and fashion photographer based in New York. I use the beauty dish for everything from portraits to beauty campaigns to fashion editorials. The beauty dish is one of my favorite light modifiers because of the stunning quality of light it produces. So first of all, what is a beauty dish? A beauty dish is a shallow bowl-shaped modifier with a reflective plate that covers the flash head. So because of this, the light is doubly reflected. It reflects off the plate, then back into the dish, and then back onto the subject. And this creates a beautiful mixture of soft light, but with a little more pop and contrast. The light is smooth and creamy on the skin, but there's more definition to the shadows. Now, while it's not as soft as a softbox, I often choose this tool because I prefer the level of texture and contrast it creates. As you may have seen, depending on the brand, a beauty dish may come in different sizes or different materials, specifically silver or white. And not all brands will be the same, but these general concepts apply. Today I'm going to be using the silver and white Profoto beauty dish, which they also call Softlight Reflectors. Let's take a look at the differences. A white beauty dish produces a softer and smoother quality of light. There's a little bit less contrast, and there's a more gradual shadow and highlight transition. A silver beauty dish, however, produces a more specular quality of light. In other words, you're going to see the shininess and the highlights a lot more, increased contrast, so the skin might look a little bit oilier, and there tends to be emphasis on the texture. Now, this is due to increased contrast and specularity, so it may emphasize blemishes, wrinkles just a little bit more. Now, depending on the brand of beauty dish, these differences aren't going to be huge. In fact, sometimes it can be quite subtle unless you have trained your eye to look for this. Now, both beauty dishes, they have this sweet spot of light. It's in the center where the reflective panel is. And the sweet spot with a silver beauty dish is even more concentrated. So what this means for you is that the angle and position of the beauty dish, it becomes imperative for ideal results, and this is even more important with a silver beauty dish. If you have the center of the light pointed just a little bit off from the center of the face, it's going to create a very noticeable hot spot in places you may not want it, for example, the forehead. Now, because the way the silver beauty dish concentrates light, it produces nearly a stop brighter than the white beauty dish. And this makes it a good choice if you're trying to balance this strobe with sunlight, for example, and you need that extra output. Now, in a side-by-side comparison of the two modifiers, you'll also see that the silver beauty dish concentrates the light more, and it's going to make it look like the light falls off more quickly. In other words, with a silver beauty dish, the background appears darker. If you're shooting portraits, particularly of everyday people, a white beauty dish is likely going to be a bit more forgiving on the skin and provide smoother looking results. Now, it's more flattering for most of us, especially if you have oilier skin. However, let's say you're photographing athletes and you want to emphasize muscle definition, or maybe a beauty model and you want to draw more attention to their cheekbone highlighter. Maybe a silver beauty dish is going to be more suitable because it has more contrast and specularity. Now, to complicate things just a little bit more, you can also add a sock, which is diffusion material, to the front of your silver beauty dish. And what this does is it cuts down on the specularity of the light, and it also softens the shadow transitions. So I find that many photographers who have silver beauty dishes, when they shoot portraiture, they often add a sock to make it more flattering. Now, I usually would say go with a white beauty dish unless stylistically you're attracted to the attributes of the silver dish option. Well, I use a white beauty dish a vast majority of the time. You, of course, can always go the full gear nerd direction like me and use them both. It's about having the right tool for the job. So does anyone out there use a silver beauty dish and really prefer it? Let me know in the comments what you shoot and which beauty dish you prefer. If you want to see the gear used in this video, check out the links below or visit adorama.com for more options. And if you've enjoyed this, feel free to give it a like and subscribe. See you next time.